Yo, all right, let's
What's
go.
up?
I can see I'm premature. Is that the name of the comment? We have Caitlin as well. Nice to have you here. We have Robin. Nice to have you here. Andy, Rich, Sick, and then we have Romania. We have some different places. Cool. All right, we'll see how many people drop in today. But we thought we would just summarize the 5-day challenge and also go through what we've been talking about those 5 days. And then we can also open up for some questions as well. We can just discuss basically online business, online education, and talk about this challenge that we've just been finalizing. I see Miles, Dr. David is here as well. Welcome. Sick. So mainly the reason why we did this challenge was it is a challenge, right? And we basically wanted to challenge everybody who went through the challenge to think for themselves, essentially, because that's something I've experienced myself as well. When I try to figure out stuff, is it's definitely worth it to spend money into courses and consulting and masterminds, and I spend a lot of money into that. But sometimes we just need to be challenged and get some good questions that we can ask ourselves and spend a couple of days or 5 days, for example, to think through the questions ourselves, and there can come some pretty good answers from that. And it's normally pretty basic stuff, like what actually do I need to focus on now? Is it like traffic? Is it conversion? Is it retention? Like, what is my model? Am I actually going to sell low ticket or high ticket? What's the pros and cons with both? What's my funnel going to be like? And also, like the first day we did, which was the mindset, right? Like, what am I actually trying to achieve? So let's start off with this, and I can just share my screen here, and we can just go over the days we had. And in the meantime, as I'm doing this, please feel free to just put some questions or whatever you want us to show in the comments below. And if you don't know who we are, by the way, we run this business called Course. I think most people who are gonna join the stream know that we're running this company called Course. We started it January 15th, 2024. And we made $2 million the first year, and now we're doing around $250,000 per month. But more importantly, I want to say we've been able to help a lot of people, and they've been able to generate pretty cool results as well. And we're not claiming that we're the end all be all who knows everything, but we've definitely figured out. It's been a journey for the past 20 months, really, Dylan, right? Like since we started now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you think, Dylan, but like a big lesson for me has been like just starting the business and getting everything set up with those different days that we've been going through now, like the mindset and the metrics and setting up the business, setting up the funnel, starting selling and starting getting customers and doing support and getting results for them, etc., etc. That's just the start, really. The real game really begins once you find something that works, and then you try to scale it. Like, how do you build a team, and how do you,
Yeah.
like, all of these things, like how do you scale it further, and can you continue to try and innovate within the business as well. And maybe we don't have to
Yeah.
get ahead of ourselves, um but yeah, how did you like the challenge, by the way, Dylan? What
Yeah, it
did
was
you think
cool.
of it?
My favorite thing was just seeing all the people engage with one another. I thought that was pretty cool. Just people talking, giving their own opinions and feedback and trying to help everybody out. I thought that was really cool. And people had
Yes.
some good questions and they were very interactive. And I liked that a lot.
Yeah,
It was
it
cool.
was it was sick. And let's see, where can I see our comments now, by the way, so I don't miss out. um let's see, Ty is here. Yeah, we have Andy with the question as well. Okay, cool. Keep some more questions coming, and then we can dive into the question as we go along here. But yeah, yes. Did you have something, Dylan?
No, I was just gonna say I think the main takeaway from what we've been able to do for the past like year and a half, 2 years now is just simply getting it off the ground. And the number one thing is just getting the feedback from our customers. And in order to do all that, we just had to like get started. Like imagine if we just tried to, you know, make this thing the best we thought it could be before we kind of like pulled the trigger to get this thing going in the first place. Like we would never be able to get the feedback to make it into what it is today. So I think that's something for a lot of people to think, is that you don't have to have the perfect idea yet or the perfect product or the perfect anything really. The best thing is literally just get started, start putting your experience into the marketplace, and see how it goes from there, and make the corrections to scale, basically.
Yeah, I agree. Um, all right, cool. But let's just summarize the 5 days super quick. So the first day, we talked about CEO mindset, right? And if you haven't been going through all of these ones yet, I can highly encourage you to do so. And if you just search for like the 5 day or 5 days to freedom challenge, you will find all of these posts. The first day we did the mindset, right? So we basically, you can download our paradigm shift workbook or keynote, and you can start to create a paradigm shift, basically a definite chief aim and what your goals are. I think that's very important. That's something I try to think about all the time, not only for you to stay on track on what you're trying to do, but also for the business and eventually the people that start working with you. So breaking some limiting beliefs, we worked on installing new empowering beliefs, and that was really day number one. And we basically had an exercise for the first day to download the paradigm shift workbook, fill out your personal goals, and then also share your definite chief aim. So a lot of people here started putting down what they wanted to do and what they wanted to accomplish, which was really, really cool. Then in day two, we talked about executive metrics. And this was an interesting one. I know you and me, Dylan, talked about this a little bit, and I saw that you comment quite a bit in the comments as well, where we wanted to basically figure out, like, pick the one metric that will make the biggest impact on your school business right now. So we asked you guys to basically fill in, is it traffic, is it conversion, or is it retention? So do we need to get more attention, or is it actually converting them into buyers that's the biggest problem, or is it actually getting people to buy our stuff again and again and keep coming back? So we asked everybody to basically write down what their main metric were, and traffic was by far the most
Yeah.
popular one. Here we had conversion though by Arda, but traffic was the one that I saw the most over and over and over again. Traffic, yeah, which makes sense because most people who know how to build a digital product, they are really good at that. Like they create a digital product, they know what to sell, but then they always want traffic. So the entrepreneurs who knows how to build a product, they always want more traffic. And the people on YouTube who has a lot of traffic, normally they want to have something to sell, like a really good product. So it's either or, and it's only like very few who can do both in like big scale, like big scale. Like, you know, it's the Imagajis or like there's not a lot of people who have a massive following and also a very like a big program or a big digital product to sell as well. However, the cool
Yeah.
thing though is that we don't need a massive audience. Like we're getting 1,000 to 2,000 views per video, and we're able to sell our course without any cold ads. We're spending money on retargeting, but we're not spending any money on cold ads right now, and the business is growing, which is pretty cool. So I guess a limiting belief here to break is that we don't need massive amounts of traffic to actually sell something. Yes, and maybe we can throw in a question here in the middle. So Andy said, for Instagram Reels, what kind of hooks do you recommend for creators who want to attract a specific audience? Also for long-term or long-form YouTube videos, do we still need a strong hook in the beginning? Yes. Like I'm going back and forth with this, or we in the team are doing this all the time. Like what to actually, how to make our content, because we are no content experts at all. We're just basically just a group of, like we're all entrepreneurs, I want to call it, on the team. We're all entrepreneurial driven, and we're basically entrepreneurs who are trying to use content to generate attention, right? But we're no like YouTube or content experts by any means. But I like the Hormozy framework really, really well. He talks about the 3 to 5 P's, right, in the beginning as a hook. So the 3 P's or the 5 P's are really, you talk about proof, promise, plan. And then you can also show that in a picture and also talk about pain. And if you look at some of Hormozy's videos, this is really interesting because he does it really, really well. And this is a good question because I've been thinking about this myself quite a lot recently. Should you not script your videos at all, or should you just script parts of it? But if if we look at this video, for example, how to win in your 20s, and I like he's doing this in a lot of his videos, Alex. But in the beginning,
Imagine bringing your side
I'm
project.
getting those amazing ads here in the beginning as well. Like in the beginning, Alex is basically showing his proof, right? Or this is basically the promise. Give me 30 minutes and I will help you make the most out of your 20s and 30s. So that is the promise. Here's the proof, right? So he said, I made my first millions in my 20s or whatever. So that's the proof. And yeah, so more proof, more proof. And then he says, like, in this video, I will give you basically whatever 13 steps it is.
Yeah, so
or
here's the plan and the picture basically in one.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the plan in the picture. In this specific one, his hook didn't really have the pain part, but basically the rest of them. And then what's also very interesting about Alex content is that I don't know for sure, but I think that he's probably scripting the intro, I think, or he has a very good idea of what he wants to say word for word in the hook. And then the rest of the video is basically list, steps, and stories. So he creates the list. You can see here he has 13 list items. And then under each list item, he has a step. So to accomplish list item number 1, maybe you need to complete 3 steps. And then after he has covered this list item and 3 steps to accomplish this list item, then he tells a story about it. So it's list, steps, and stories. And then it goes to the second list item, goes over maybe 3 steps for this one, tells a story about it, and he does that over and over and over again. And what's cool about this is that the video is planned out, but it's not scripted word for word. But he most likely obviously has the list items scripted out and the steps scripted out, and probably has planned out the story for it, but the rest is riffing. So it's not this kind of stale content where every single word for word is scripted, if that makes sense. So yes, to answer your question, what kind of hooks do you recommend for creators who want to attract a specific audience? Yeah, I would make content for your ideal customer persona or for your target avatar, and then make videos for them specifically, and then probably use this hook framework, the 3 to 5 Ps, and then you use list, steps, and stories for the main content. I think that is a solid way to go about it. Yes. Let's see if we can go through some more questions here when we're getting some. Let's see. I suppose I should find a name that's easier to pronounce. Oh, that's fun. Brian said, what do you think about a school about language learning, but rather than knowing the language, you're daily posting yourself learning the language, creating a community with others learning the same language? About learning language rather than knowing the language. Well,
it's like documenting you going through the journey almost.
Yeah. Do you get the, like, I have to read it again.
Yeah, he's basically saying, like, do you think it would be a good idea to start a community about me learning something and then just documenting and sharing it as I'm learning it, rather than me having to like already know the language and teaching other people it?
Yeah, maybe. I guess when people join a community and course, though, they mainly want to learn it, right? Maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but
maybe documenting it on like YouTube or something, and then building out that would be kind of cool, and people would kind of get behind that, and then maybe you can sell something around that in the school community.
Yeah, like language in general, I think is great. There's a bunch of people out in the world who want to learn different languages, so I think that's good. Xavi said, how would you test the waters in a niche to see if there's enough people to make money in it? Okay, this is a good one. I think the easiest way to do this is honestly just to see what other people are already doing. So if I would test the water in a niche, like if I would start a new business and I didn't know what to go for, I would honestly just like, I'm gonna do an example now with an individual that maybe you guys already know who it is, but let's say I was like, okay, AI is booming right now. AI is huge. Like if I search for AI automation, right? not even course, but if I just search for AI automation, if you look up the keyword now on YouTube, they have like, what was it? I think school has like 130,000 searches a month, and AI automation had like in the millions. It's absolutely
It's crazy.
massive keyword. Yeah, it's a huge one. So let's say I'm like, okay, AI is absolutely booming. So I would start with this first. This how, if I would start a business, I would literally go to YouTube and find something that I was one interested in and something that was working on YouTube and that there was a market for. And then I would just go through and look at different creators. And here's one that you might like. Here's Nick. He is doing really well on school right now as well. And let's say I would go to his channel. I would look, all right, he is doing really well with his content, like tens of thousands of views. And he also has a school community. And if I go to his school community, I would be able to see that he has, yeah, almost 3,000 members now paying him close to $200 per month. And he's making like 300K per month with this or something like that. So now, even before I begin, I know that, okay, here's an industry and an individual making content, like a lot of content. Like he hasn't done as much recently though. But he used to do like content every like 3 per week or something like that.
Yeah.
It did a bunch. And it's obviously working really well when he is selling as well. And so then I would potentially even buy into this and I would learn this skill from his actual course and learn it from his channel as well. And now when I actually launch my, so the question was, how would you test the waters in the niche to see if there's enough people to make money in it? Well, I wouldn't even test it unless I knew that it was already working. And the easiest way to see if it's working is just to like find somebody else who's doing it really well. And then not copy and steal what they're doing, obviously, but I could learn the skill from them by even buying into their product. And then I could make my product slightly different and try to make it even better. So that's one way to go about it. Another way to go about it, maybe you can talk about that, Dylan, like, how we pre-sell. That could be a way to do it as well.
Yeah, like selling the course before it's technically even built.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think the best way, and this obviously works really well if you're selling something high ticket, which I think is a limiting belief in its own, and that's a separate conversation. But you could basically just make content about something that you're knowledgeable in. If that's kind of what you guys are going to be creating your course around, start creating content about things that you know. And over time, you'll start to see what content is working, what's getting traction, and what's not. And over time, you're going to start attracting views from people that are interested in seeing how you can help them with their pain point because you're making content around that. And over time, if you put together like a funnel and you start getting people to book a call with you, you don't need to sell them on the product, but you more so have like just sold them on you so far, sold them on like what you're knowledgeable about, right? You can kind of get them to the point where you're just asking like, hey, I'm very knowledgeable with all this stuff in here. I just haven't like put it into an entire training yet, right? But I know how to help you and I know what like you need like your pain point is and I know how to kind of get you out of that. But I'm going to build a training and it's going to basically be exactly what you want, but I just wanted to know exactly how you would like it built so you can build something that they also want and need at the same time, and then just basically pre-sell them beforehand, and you can actually start making sales on your course before it's technically even built in a way. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. And
Yeah.
and Max did that, and he could talk about what he did with the one individual, and he crushed it.
Yeah, we had a guy who started pre-selling his course. He had been running a business and he wanted to teach others how he started that business. And he pre-sold over 150K in contracted value and 50K in cash collected in 3 weeks. And he had not even built the course yet. So he started just with traffic and a funnel, started getting sales calls, pitched people, and people bought it. And then he was like, oh shit, now I have like 10 people who bought my stuff or even more than that. And
Yeah.
he sold it for 10K. So he made like 30 sales then, basically. Oh, no, 15 sales, I mean. And then he built the course. So that's also a way to kind of see if it's working even before we start actually putting more time and energy into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because then you can build out the course confidently knowing that the market actually want it because people have like literally bought it already.
Yeah.
So you don't need to build the
And
entire product first.
yeah, and the final thing on that, it trips a lot of people up. I know that when I started, that sounded really scary to do. But how you do it is that when you sell them, you tell them that, as Dylan said, the product is not done yet. The first module is going to be done in 3 weeks. And because of that, I'm going to give you a discount. Like the first 10 people who buy this thing, they will get a 20% discount. And you're getting the discount because it's not done yet. But the first module will be done in 3 weeks. So then just bear with me. You buy it, you get 20% discount. In 3 weeks, the first module will be done. And then once you
Yeah.
have the 10 people sold, then you go build it. And if you still have calls coming in that requires somebody to take those calls, but you need to build the course, then you can actually hire a closer, does the closing for you. So then, yeah, it works really well. Then the next one was by Rich. So if you are in my position with a free community that's growing, would you launch the course first or flip the community to paid first? If you have a free community that's growing, I wouldn't flip the free one into a paid, honestly, because then you will have a bunch of people who are in your free one that will be in there for free. And then I don't really like the idea of mixing people who are free with the paid ones. I think there's value in having a community only with paid people, with other paid people, because they're a little bit more serious. And also, if you have a free community could be a great resource for you to have. Like you can use that as a marketing mechanism. And then there's power in that. And then there's also another school money model, I guess you can call it, which is coming pretty soon. I guess maybe next week or in 2 weeks. I don't know. But the freemium model, they call it, right? Where you just keep the community free forever. But if they want to unlock the course and the Q&A calls, then they will have to pay a price for that. And yeah, I think the MRR model is really good I think it's good for beginners to start with the MRR model, to make maybe the first 5 to 10K per month, potentially even a bit more than that. But scaling it past like consistently making a lot of money with MRR model can be tough because people are churning, right? People are leaving your low ticket. So you need a lot of traffic. Like if you can have a lot of traffic, as Nick do with a big YouTube channel, it's good. But I'm sure even he is churning a lot. So, or a lot. I don't know how much he's churning, but I know he has churn because everybody does. And I think there's very few who can scale a low ticket thing to bigger numbers because it's pretty dang hard. And also the reason why I think it's hard to do MRR in big scale with information is because people, it might take somebody 3 to 4 months to go through a course, but after 3 to 4 months they've gone through the course, then they kind of feel like they got the value from the course, and then there's no reason for them to continue to pay, so then people leave. Yeah, I think MRR is really, really good though to start with. But if somebody want to grow and grow it bigger, and if they're selling something that's more valuable, I think higher ticket is better. Brian said, starting off low ticket, then eventually venturing into high ticket as you create a community with others learning the same language. Yeah, I think that's good. I think the good thing with low ticket as well is that you can start selling something without the sales call. So you can start a YouTube channel, you can link to your low ticket community, and you can see if people are actually buying it. So you don't need to have a sales call. And I know that sales calls are scaring quite a lot of people. When I started, I thought sales were the scariest thing in the world, like super scary to jump on a call and try to sell something. But the truth is also for the entrepreneurs to sell online education is that you don't have to take sales calls. Like you can focus on building the product really good and focus on traffic, and then you can have other people who close for you. Yeah. Yes. Andy said, which approach better attracts high quality leads? Option 1, start funny, then say a sentence to filter. Option 2, start with direct filtering. I don't know. Do you know what that means? Start funny, then say a sentence to filter.
Yeah, maybe he could elaborate just a bit. Approach better high quality leads. Option 1, start funny, then say a sentence to filter. Option 2, start with direct filtering. Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest, to be quite honest.
Certainly. Let us know what you mean, Andy, and we can get back to it. Monica said, what are your thoughts on using the course as the on-ramp free community during, then paid for ongoing education and support? Yeah, I recognize you, Monica, as well. I've seen you in the challenge. That's cool. I recognize a lot of faces here, by the way. Rich as well. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, what are your thoughts on using the course as the on-ramp free community during, then paid for ongoing education and support? Then paid for ongoing education and support. Yeah. Okay. So the community and the course is free, right? And then the paid, if you pay, you get education and support.
Like more course material, maybe, and then like support from the creator potentially.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it will be very interesting to see the freemium model when school now launches that, how that will work. Which is basically, I think that's what you're describing, that you offer the free one for free, the community for free, and then if people pay extra, they get access to more help and support and get access to more education as well. Yeah, I think it will be interesting to see. I wouldn't do it myself, though. I would honestly either go with like a YouTube channel directly to a low ticket paid school community and people pay in. For the main reason that I wouldn't want to mix free with paid members, or I would just like get them to a high ticket offer and sell them over the phone directly to a high ticket. However, the more value we can provide for free in a free community, for example, or on a YouTube channel, the better, because we help people for free and we can build trust and credibility that way. So, yeah. I think all of these models honestly work. It's just what the actual entrepreneur wants to like to do, honestly. Yeah.
And the thing about not mixing free members with paid members is really just because if you also remember at the end of the day as well, like having an exclusive paid community is like it's something that you could basically just add to your value stack when selling your paid product. That's like the easiest thing to add into your offer, right? You could just have like a separate area where only these serious people that are willing to invest in themselves can actually network and communicate with each other, other than just the free community is kind of people that are just like poking in and out. They're not super serious, maybe, or they're just kind of like, window shopping and stuff like that. So if you could really highlight like a paid group or a paid product or just a paid area where only the paid people can communicate with each other, that's something that just like increases the value of your offer without you really having to do anything other than just have a school community.
Yeah. And just to highlight that, the offer that Hermosa sold for $24,000, it was literally a community with other people who paid
In a group
24K
call.
and one group call per month. That was literally what you got. The course material you got for 24K was the same course material you get basically for free in Schoolers, or if you bought the book for, I don't know what it was, $20 or something. So,
Yeah.
and that is super valuable because now I'm in a community with other entrepreneurs who've also paid 24K. Some of them donated even more, paid even more money for books. So I can learn from them. And then I get one call per month with Hermosa and his team. And also his team is in there answering questions. So if you have a community with high quality people in it, it's value in just like networking with those people, learning from them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brian said, showing off the journey of myself in my own school community and then build trust from there that he is learning the language too. Yeah, I think that's cool. Like that's what we thought it was like, showing the journey. It would be interesting to test. Robin. But I do also think that if people join the community because they want to learn, they also want some material to learn from. But I think it's cool if you learn with them.
Yeah.
Robin said, since I'm just starting out and my niche is so specific, would it be better for me to start growing a free community, move to low ticket monthly, then sales calls for high ticket group coaching? Um, well, if you're just starting out, like just starting out, then I think it's pretty good to start with a low ticket, because you can test the YouTube channel, you can test YouTube content, you can bring them to a low ticket offer, and you can see that it's working. Um, but I also think that, and what I mean by starting out, it's if you don't really know what your skill is yet, you don't really know yet what you're going to teach. But let's say there's somebody who has been a let's say somebody has been working as a real estate agent, or an accountant even. Let's say somebody has been an accountant for a long time, and now this individual wants to, like, maybe this accountant ran their own accounting business or accounting firm for a while, and they scaled that to maybe 500,000 a year, or maybe even 1 million a year. Let's say 500,000. And that individual now wanted to teach others here's how you start an accounting firm and grow to 500,000 a year, just like I did. Then in that case, I wouldn't start with a free and then go to low ticket and then go to high ticket. I would probably recommend that person start with high ticket right away, because they're literally teaching others how to start an accounting firm with the skill that this individual has already learned. And then I would probably start selling with sales calls right away. Maybe start selling it for 2K, and then to 2,500, then 3K, and then maybe eventually 5K, maybe even 10K. Like Dylan has a friend who teaches people how to start remote cleaning businesses, and he charges 10K up front for that. So people invest 10K, and then they get a skill to start a business that can make, I don't know, 20, 30, 40K per month or something like that, or maybe even more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Robin, you could almost make an argument, since your thing is so niche, right? And it doesn't, also just for everybody else listening, this doesn't only apply just because her thing or his thing is so niche. It's just helps, right? But you could make the argument, since your thing is so niche, that you'll probably be like the outlier in your space when it comes to talking about this specific niche as well. So you kind of are like that authority figure. And in that case, like, I would just start making content on YouTube, or wherever you think your ideal member um, is going to be most often. We've just seen that YouTube is really the best place to kind of get that initial traction. But just start talking about things that and like how you can actually help people, and just start providing value into the marketplace. And eventually, since your stuff is so niche specific, that the SEO on YouTube will just start to put it in front of people that are interested in the same thing as well. But yeah, and I see your second question down here a little bit as well, so I can kind of weave this into what I'm going to say. It's like, I have not started building my course yet, since I'm still unsure if my niche will be sellable. That's great. So this is exactly what you should kind of do, in my opinion. Just start putting a bunch of value out there on YouTube. Start getting the feedback from people, to see if there's a market for it. So that way you're kind of like testing the waters to see if it will be sellable, if people are interested in that thing. And then I would just get on the phone with people. Like I said, you seem like you definitely know a lot about your industry, but you just haven't basically extrapolated that information and put it into a full built training yet, right? Which is fine. So if you could just talk with people and say like, hey, like, I think I know how to help you. I just haven't actually done that yet. Um, in terms of building out a course, then you could kind of pre-sell, like I mentioned earlier, and then build the course later, confidently knowing that people actually want that thing because you've actually sold it. And I think that if your whole goal is just to collect as much cash upfront as humanly possible, there's probably people willing to pay good money for that. And that's kind of what I would say to a lot of you guys, if you're tossing up between like low ticket, or mid ticket, or high ticket, or anything like that. Just really evaluate what you're knowledgeable about, what you're going to be teaching, and generally ask yourself, like, what do you think it's worth, and what do you think people are willing to pay for it? And if you guys generally think that your stuff is only worth like $20 a month, then you're entitled to your own opinion, and you could do that. But I would be willing to bet that I think a lot of you guys are undervaluing what you guys actually know and what people are willing to pay for it. Yeah. So if your goal is to collect as much cash up front as possible, I think that you can actually get away with selling something a little bit more high ticket, to fewer people just driving traffic in through YouTube, and that's a good way to kind of get that initial cash up front.
Nice.
That's
Like
the
it.
easiest way to scale.
Rich said, when you're starting out, do you focus more on building traffic first or creating the offer and community structure? I would focus on traffic first. I would do, if you're selling high ticket, I would do traffic to funnel and see if you like and get sales calls. And then I would build the actual then
Yeah.
after that I will start thinking about the offer, and then finally I would actually build the community and the actual course material. Final. Yeah.
Yeah. Traffic's probably step one. Like out of anything, you have to have people, you have to have eyeballs on you and your product, or you and your offer essentially.
Yeah. Cool.
That's
David,
how you
yeah, sorry.
I was just gonna say that's just how you get the good feedback from people, by talking to them and getting eyeballs on your stuff. So it's all stems from traffic.
Yes. And then David said, I help fellow dentists in the USS scale their dental practices. Nice. Now I
Ah,
want to
cool.
create.
My mom's a dental assistant. Maybe she'll
Yeah, oh, really. Now I want to create a downsell school community. Should I offer to teach my full service or just organic growth on socials? Um,
Do you
all
have
right.
like an offer? Like, are you selling courses already, David, or
Yeah, I can
that's kind of the
check.
plan?
Yeah, that would be interesting to know, because if you're selling your main offer, I guess, David, is like a high ticket thing. That's what I would recommend, because if you're
Done
teaching.
for you.
Oh, you said that.
They said it's a done for you.
Oh, it's a done for you. I would potentially do, if it's a done for you, your main one, to help like help fellow dentists in the US scale their dental practices, and you want to do downsell. Okay, I get it. So it's a downsell from a done for you.
Yeah.
I would probably I wouldn't do low ticket, that's for sure. I would 100% do it a higher ticket, like an annual recurring revenue offer. So
Yeah.
maybe you charge 3K per year or
Just a little
5K per
more.
year or whatever
Yeah,
it
just a
is.
little more context. He said it's a done for you, and he charges 3K a month. So it sounds like it's kind of
Yeah.
like maybe it's like a one-on-one or consulting thing at the moment.
Yeah. I would then probably do like it's 3K per month, and maybe you sign them for 3 months or 6 months. I don't know. But so then it's done for you. But if you want to do like a done with you, or if you want to basically do it yourself, then you could buy my course for $5,000, and you can sell them on the same sales call, right? Because you most likely have a funnel, they go through, they book a call, you sell them a done for you. But if they want to do it themselves, I would probably do a course for that. And here's another twist to it, though, David. Uh, Here's something to think about, because I don't know if you're helping them with marketing, but here's the thing, because I had the same thing with when I was running marketing agency. I was helping residential roofers in the US to run their ads. And then I had the same idea. I could either sell it done for you for them, and I do the work for them, and they paid me 3.5 to 5K per month per location. And then I was like, oh, I should just do downsell and sell a course. So instead of me doing the work for them, they could buy a course for 5K and they could do it themselves. The problem, though, was that, okay, marketing and sales, cool. The problem, though, was that the roofers, they didn't want to do it themselves. And there could be a thing here as well, David, that maybe your fellow dentists, they don't want to do this themselves. They much rather hire somebody like you who does it for them. So what you could do then instead is to start educating people how they can do what you're doing. If you know, right? So you could basically start a course where you're teaching others to basically become your competitors, if that makes sense. And most people don't want to do that. So you would basically teach others how to become coaches like you for dentists. And now you can sell it to a lot of people who want to learn your skills from an actual dentist, how to become a marketing and sales expert for other dentists. And now you are basically selling what people want. You're selling people who want to learn the marketing and sales skills to start an agency to help dentists. And the dentists are happy because they get people who do it for them. But if dentists want to do it themselves, then you could sell the downsell directly to them. But if they don't want to do it themselves, I would actually consider teaching others how to do what you do.
Hmm.
It's,
Nice.
yeah, that can be a pretty good shift, honestly.
I said, by the way, David just joined the full version of course.
Oh, that's
Awesome.
sick.
Excited
That's
to
awesome.
welcome
That's
him.
cool, David. Let's talk more about this then, David. Yeah, that's really really cool. Um, that might be a mind twister for you, David. Maybe you haven't thought about that one, or maybe you have, but it can be something to consider actually. Because I know there's a lot of people who would love to learn your
Yeah.
skills and start an agency from that.
Yeah. Basically, to take away from that, like, just ask yourself, if you did do it done with you, are the dentists that you're currently working with, would they want to implement all that stuff themselves? Or are they more like you're kind of having to push them to do everything? That's why it's a done for you right now. But if you could see them implementing everything themselves in the form of like a training and a course, then do that. But you might be able to scale even higher with what Max suggested, which is kind of like the next progression step in what you're already doing. So
Something to consider, at least.
yeah.
Then I see we had some Robin. Yeah, but that was the previous one. Then Rich said, I completed the template slides and created the whole 5-week course. Now I just need to make the videos as Max outlines in CourseOS. Let's go. Nice. Good stuff. We already talked about that one. Yeah, consumers of free stuff are different from consumers of paid stuff. Yeah. Yeah, we're all people, right? But it's like we're at different stages. I agree. I think it's very powerful to mix paid members with paid members, and yeah. And then if my niche is a dying market, like designing books and publications, but I'm skilled in it, should I stay in it or explore a clearly growing market, which is copywriting, with little experience? Well, I think I would honestly start with like the market first, right? Even if it's a dying market, I still think books and publications will be around, right? But more and more it's going to the internet. I 100% see what you're saying. Even think Hormozy talks about in one of his early books that he uses exactly that example as a dying market. But that doesn't mean that there's a market that still people are like want to buy from. And if it's designing books and publications, that can be a very broad thing, right? I don't know exactly what it is that you do in there, but if I had that skill as you do, and I would looked at the marketplace and was like, okay, there's still a group of people here who buy this thing, and I can help them with this problem. I would still do it, honestly. And then when it goes to copywriting, with little experience, which is a growing market, as you say, like copywriting will also be here forever. But then if I went into copywriting, if I did a course around it, I would probably create a course educating others how to become copywriters. That is a very trendy, like that works because there's a lot of people who want to become copywriters. So if we had a course teaching people how to learn copywriting and start an agency with copywriting, that would be good. It probably would be harder to create a course about copywriting for business owners because most business owners, again, most likely want to just hire a copywriter to do it for them. Yeah. Hopefully that gives some food for thought. And Andy said, like, I meant to say a sentence to audiences, specific audiences. What did you say before? Let me remind myself. Well, in general, right? It was about talking to your audience. I would just make videos specifically to your audience, honestly. Like if you're helping roofers with ads, I would make, or if you help people start a roofing agency, I would make videos to people who want to start a roofing agency. Or if you're good at copywriting, I would make videos to people who want to make money online and can do that with copywriting. So I would make specific videos for a specific audience, if that is your question, 100%. What's the most common mistake people make when they're trying to sell their first course? I think a common mistake is they want to build the course first because they think it's going to work, and then they try to sell it, and then maybe sometimes, which often happens, it doesn't work because they didn't verify that the market wanted it. So I would try to sell it first and then build the course. And I also think a common mistake is not actually researching the market enough. I would just try to dumb it down as much as possible. I would be like, okay, here's a guy or a girl, they have a YouTube channel, and they're selling a course and they're successful at it, I would be like, nice. If they can do it, then so can I. And then I would basically do what
Yeah.
they did, but do it in a better way instead of trying to come up with a brand new idea. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is that people know, you guys know what people need at the end of the day. Like, you guys know what they need. You have your skill set, right? And you have that over here. But the thing that you don't entirely know yet is what people want, right? And that's a really big thing. And the only way to make truly like the most powerful course you can that's actually going to get people good results is by coupling what people need and what they want in the same thing. Because at the end of the day, people buy what they want. They don't buy what they need, right? So instead of just building a course solely based on what people need, get feedback, talk with customers, understand what they want first, and then you can put those two things together and then create the course afterwards. So you know that the market's actually going to want that thing, and then you don't have to remake the course, a few times and tweak it, all this stuff. You can make your best possible version one of your training from the get-go.
Yeah. A lot of people need to eat less sugar and eat more carrots, let's say, but it doesn't matter. They still want candy and they're gonna buy candy because they
Yeah.
want it. All right. Yeah, Monica said like a course is paid with a free community. Yeah, the freemium model. I think that is an interesting one to test out, honestly. So you keep the community free, and then the calls and the course is paid. It will be interesting to see what people do with it, though. I still think I just like a paid community, either low ticket and go free content on YouTube to a low ticket paid community, or have high ticket.
You're
But
starting to creep into that area where you're starting to mix paid members and free members with each other. Yeah.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, Rich said, what's better in your opinion, Max? Freemium model, selling a course, making a low ticket separate community, or both? Yeah, freemium or like low ticket. Like, we haven't seen the freemium yet. Maybe the freemium is going to be amazingly good. Like, and it also comes down to the actual creator, right? Or the owner of the community. Because, like, for example, I just joined. Let me show you guys. I'm actually going to shout out the community here because I think this is a cool one. Let's see here. I saw, let's see if we go back here and we do this one. Maybe some of you guys recognize this fella, Matthew Thompson. If you haven't, he used to run the
Shout out Matthew Thompson.
yeah, shout out to Matthew Thompson. I spoke to him today, and I just started to join this community because I honestly find it very, very interesting. It's a great idea. It's a fun way to reduce screen time and reclaim your relationships. So, and he used to run the school podcast, the school stories before, and so he has started this community, and he has built a real, like, the way he has designed this community is really, really cool. And the way he has built his actual course material in here is also really, really cool. It's super interactive. It's super creative. And they have a 7-day free trial, by the way. So if you're somebody who spends too much time on your phone, or if you know somebody who spends too much time on your phone, I can actually recommend to go and just check out his first 7-day course here, because the way he has built, like, created the videos are super interactive. They're super, super cool.
Is it drip feed or is it just all given to you?
The first 7 days are given to you immediately, but then in the classroom, it's drip feed, and he's also going to have his whole idea with this is to have an affiliate thing going with this as well. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because somebody could make the freemium model in a very uncreative and pretty boring way, and it's probably not going to work that well. Or there's somebody who makes the freemium model, like somebody like Matthew, who makes it in a super creative and a fun way and a very smart way by using all of the different mechanisms on school, and it's probably going to work really, really well. So it's not only about the model, it's also about how you kind of make it. And if we just look at all the models, then, like, we have freemium, we have low ticket, and we have high ticket, and we have free plus a paid, all of these ones. Like, the most simplest one out of them all I think is selling high ticket. If you can sell high ticket, if you have an offer that is worth, let's say you're selling information that you think is worth $2,000 or $3,000, but you want to sell it for $100 per month because everybody else is doing it for $100 per month. I don't think that's the way. Then I think you should sell it for high ticket. I guess my point is, because churn is pretty dang tough. It is tough. But yeah, hopefully that answers that question, Rich. It also comes down to like the actual individual making the model. Xavi said, "What's the best way to create authority if you don't have client results or personal results in the same niche you're selling in?" Okay, I think it helps a lot if you have personal results. It doesn't have to be mega results, by the way. Let's say I wanted to start a golf community because I love playing golf. And let's say I'm like, I just want to play golf for the rest of my life. I want to travel the world. I want to play golf and I want to make money doing that. But I'm not a pro golfer. I played down my handicap to like 14 when I was literally like 16 years old. And now I haven't played in a long time. But let's say I was like 10 in handicap. And that's not even close to being even a amateur pro or anything, but I could still teach others to get to 10 in handicap, right? So I don't have to be the best in the world. So like personal results, I think it's good if you have some type of personal results in it, but even if you don't have that, you can still sell it. And the way you can create, to answer your question, to create authority, I'm going back and forth here, but when I started my agency in the roofing space, which is a completely different business, that was basically one of my first businesses that I ever had. I had never been running an agency, I'd never been running ads, and I'd never been helping roofers. And the first client that I got paid me over 10K a month, and they were the top 30th biggest roofing contractor in the world, or in the US rather. So how did I do that? Well, I basically sold them on the system. I built authority and trust with them by basically showing them that when you pay me this money, I will do X, Y, and Z for you. Here's the fund I'm gonna build for you. Here's the ads I'm gonna run for you. Here's when I'm gonna send you the reports. Like la la la. So I basically built trust and credibility by showing to them the value that I would bring to them. And then I got my first client. I was able to get results. I get a testimonial, and then I was on my way essentially. So. Everybody starts from zero. It just helps if you have some personal results in it. Like nobody has client results in the beginning, and it's easy to get away client results because you can always sell it a bit cheaper in the beginning, or you can sell them more on the value you're going to bring to them essentially. Yeah, cool. Hopefully that makes sense. Robbie said, "I don't have a course yet. I already have one free weekly call on my new community. I was thinking of introducing a second one, but a different kind of call to offer more value." Any thoughts on this? Yeah, if you have a
It's a
community,
great way to get feedback.
exactly. Yeah, I think that's great. If people enjoy your calls, then and they're like, "Oh, I want more of them," I would probably do another one. But there's also, I used to do daily calls. Like in our community right now, we still do daily calls, but it's different coaches in different, like we have one for, I do one about, in general, basically. In general, they can speak with me and ask everything. And then we have a specific one for YouTube. We have a specific one with with operations with Dylan. We have a specific one with sales with Miles. We have a specific one with copywriting with our copywriter. We have a specific one about ads for the people who want to do ads. So we have a lot of calls going on, but there's different categories. So if you're gonna do multiple ones, I would probably do different types of calls. And this is something Sam and Hermosi also talked about. They used to do, how many calls did they do? I don't remember. They did a lot. They did like 2 or 3 per week or something. And then they noticed that people didn't really watch the recordings because they made multiple. And then they started doing once per week. And then everybody watched that one call.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Robbie. Yeah.
Starts to be that thing where it's like, if you have them 2-3 times a week, it's like, oh, I'll join the next call. Oh, I'll join the next call. Oh, I'll just join the next call. But then if it's like only so spread out, you're like, oh, okay, I have to make sure I attend this call. Yeah.
And if they miss it, they have one recording to watch. Versus if you have 5 calls per week, people are like, oh, I can't keep up with this. I'm not going to watch 5 recordings every week of the Q&A call. But if you
Yeah.
have one, then they can just keep up to date with that one call. What's my best way to position my course so it feels different from the free value people are already getting in my community? All right, so you have a free community and then potentially a paid one later, right? Well, if I give away free value, here's how I did it. You don't have to give away all of the free value. You can give away a portion of the free value. And I think it's really powerful to give away the best value or some of the best value you can give away for free. And then if they want more value or the rest of the value, they get really valuable stuff, but they don't get all of it. So once they completed the really valuable stuff that they really like, or rather they get the stuff that they really want, that they're looking for. And that's a start. Now they like you and trust you because you've actually given them really valuable stuff that they wanted. But then once they've solved that first step, now they're like, oh, I have 20 more steps I need to solve. That's when they buy into your paid one. People are always willing to pay for more. We're always willing to pay more money to get there faster and easier with more help and support. So if you can be like, if you like this free stuff, but you want to get there even faster and easier with more help and support from me, with an extra course material and extra access to me, that's also how you can do it. And then the classic one is just like give away the knowledge of basically you give away how to do it. You tell people what to do. Like you give the value that you give away is like you should do X, Y, and Z to achieve this outcome that you want. But if you want step-by-step instructions on actually how to do it, then you can buy into the paid stuff. Yeah. There's this example by
The implementation.
Exactly. I think it's that Caleb guy who did a really good video. Let's see if we can find that. I don't know if you guys have seen. I think he's how to build a brand. If you guys haven't watched this video, I can highly recommend it. Yeah, by Caleb, this dude. So he did a free mini course that's 6.5 hours long. You don't really need to watch the full 6 hours. The first 3 hours is basically on how to build a personal brand, and the rest of it is like how to build a team. So I think for most of us in here, like the first 3 hours are the most impactful. He used to work with he used to work with Alex Hormozi on his team, and then he was also on Gary Vaynerchuk's team. So he knows what he's talking about, this dude. But he gives an example in this series about this, and he said he gave an example of Harley Davidson, and they say Harley Davidson has a bunch of videos on their YouTube channel where they literally show you how to upgrade the bike, how to change out the parts, how to make it faster, how to make it look better, how to do all of these upgrades. And people are like, oh shit, here's how I actually do it. But then people realize that, oh, I don't know how to do this, or I'm gonna mess it up if I do it myself. So then what do? Well, they go to Harley Davidson shop and they pay them to do it for them. So it's, yeah. Nice. Robin said, exactly, I've lived this experience that I will be teaching. I feel that I have went through all the trauma in my life in order to help others. That's cool. That's great. I need to build a funnel. Yeah, and then we had David talking about, the done for you. Hey, I run a YouTube channel about how to grow taller and biohacking, etc. I've hit over 1 million views on a single video. That's crazy. I want to start a school community. How would you want me to do it? All right, nice. I think that you're in a niche that is it like, grow taller and like biohacking and like looks maxing and all of this stuff, right? It's super popular. People are like, it's super popular. So I'm not surprised that you're getting a lot of views because it's in like people are very interested in it. If I were you, I would probably just, because if you're helping people grow taller, I don't know how that works, but I would imagine it's for people who are a bit younger than. Maybe they're teens or early 20s or something, and they can, I don't know, right? So it's probably younger people. And depending on who you're selling to, right? If you're targeting, let's say, If it's biohacking for like entrepreneurs or business owners, I would probably sell it for high ticket. But if your target market is like younger, and in your YouTube analytics, right, you can see who watches your stuff. So you can see the age range of the people who watch your stuff. And if it's mostly people are in 18 to maybe 25 or something, I would probably start a low ticket community, sell it for, I don't know what people would charge or pay for that, $50 or $100 per month or something, or maybe sell it for an annual price. I would probably do that to start with, unless you can target a portion of the market that has more money, like entrepreneurs or business owners, or maybe older people, a little bit older people, maybe 30 plus ish, 30 to 45, or etc. And then sell high ticket to them. But it sounds like probably low ticket would fit that better, I think. I don't know what you think, Dylan.
Yeah. I think any way you could figure out how to align yourself with collecting more cash per customer is going to be the most scalable thing, in my opinion. So if you could figure out how to do that, maybe maybe it's like a little bit more of like a coaching thing or something. I don't know. I think you could figure it out though. I think a lot of people can sell something a little bit more expensive than they think that they can.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. David said switching into guru mode. Yeah. Yeah. I like, if people want it, then people want it. It goes back to like the marketing agency stuff, right? Like, or teaching people how to do what you do versus teaching the dentists to do it themselves. And I don't think it's any guru mode per se, because you're doing it yourself, right? So you have more than enough authority to teach other people to become you, basically. You have a bunch of authority in that, since you're doing it yourself, and it can be very profitable business as well. Nice. Let's see here. Brandon said, if I'm new to YouTube, do you have a recommendation for framework of first 5 videos to post? Yes, I would try to find people or YouTube channels who already are making content that people have watched, like finding outliers. There's this great tool, by the way. Maybe, I don't know if most of you guys know about this, but there's this tool that you can download for Chrome that is called 1of10.com. Here, they have a free Chrome extension. So extensions, try Chrome extension, it's 100% free. And what you can do with that is that here, if I'm on Caleb's channel, you can see this video is a 10 times outlier. So this video got 10 times more views than he's normally getting. So you can see it has 40K, 47K, 91K. So on average, he's getting about like 42K per video, and this had got 420K. So this is a 10x outlier. This had 4,000 views, so this was a 0.1x outlier, but it's a rather new one as well, right? So to answer your question, if you're new to YouTube and you want to have a recommendation for a framework for the first 5 videos to post, I would download this tool, and then I would, like athletes movement practices, I would see what other people are posting on YouTube in your niche, and then I would find outliers like this that are at least like 3 to 4x plus, maybe even more if you can, and then I would make those videos. I would watch those videos, I would use a similar title, similar thumbnail, and I would see how they actually made the actual video, and I would make my video in the similar way, which is easier said than done, but that's what I would do. Yeah. I missed the start of this. That's fine. You're here now, and I don't know. I can't see when people wrote the questions, which is a bit unfortunate. But welcome, Bay. Nice to have you here, Sterling. That's a cool surname, by the way, Sterling. Dylan Sterling would be pretty fucking dope. And I'm completely serious. I'm not joking here. I think Sterling is a badass name. Let's see. Robin said, okay, I hear you. Okay, cool. Max, when you had your agency for roofing companies, were there any competitors before you? Yes, there were. there were a bunch of people running roofing marketing agencies, but pretty much all of them were doing SEO or Google ads. And then I started doing Facebook ads for roofers. And in the solar industry, they were already kind of doing Facebook ads, but pretty much none of them were doing Facebook ads for roofers. They were like, yeah, like not a lot at all. It wasn't big at all. And then I found this when I got my first roofing customer. As I said, I had no idea how to run ads, but I got my first client, paid me 10.5K. I started running ads for them, and I sucked. It was really bad results, and I panicked, and I was like, okay, I need to find somebody who can help me with ads. So I found a media buyer, and he was amazing at ads, and so he ran the ads um, for them essentially under my umbrella, um, and then we got amazing results. And then we did Facebook ads, worked really really well, and then from there more and more I started to talk about it on YouTube, and more people started to see what we were selling. And like, it's not only because of me that people started doing Facebook ads, but it started to spread on the internet that Facebook ads were working really well, and then more and more people started doing it. What's up, guys? Trying to get a couple more clients to join the course. That's sick. Nice to have you here, Novert. Let us know how we can help you get some more clients. Freedom35 said, how do I get a refund? Refund from what? Is it refund from course? Well, then we can get you a refund right away. Or is it a refund to school? I have no idea what you mean. But if you're in course, you just let us know. I don't think you're inside a course though, because I don't think you would write it here if you were.
No, I don't think so.
Until then, what advice do you have on content creation to book more calls? Content creation. So you're a super conscious creator coach, which basically tells me that you're in, maybe helping people with, helping people with the subconscious, or like reprogramming. And like, I would just basically do what, I would basically find someone on YouTube who's crushing it. What's the name of that guy, Dylan? It's first we have Quasi, right? He's a guy who's kind of in this space, who's doing really well, like reality
The
creator.
neural knowledge guy?
Yeah, neural knowledge, exactly. I would like look at most his popular videos here and like find outliers for him that might be relevant to do, and then also neural knowledge. This dude is another one in your space that's doing really really well. Getting a ton of views. It's actually crazy.
Look at those thumbnails, dude. It's the
Yeah.
same one.
Yeah, crushing it. Like really, really well. So that's what I would do if I were you right now. I would look at what advice do you have on content creation to book more calls. I would literally go to like Near Knowledge, Quasi. I'm sure there are other people in a similar space as well who are doing really well. And both Quasi and Nero are selling high ticket, by the way. So I think that would be a great group of creators to look at. Let's see here. Max, I run 5 bed and breakfasts, making €1 million per year in revenue. Nice. Do you think that I can teach others how to start bed and breakfasts, or should I focus on existing? Well, I definitely think you can start teaching people how to do bed and breakfasts, and you can also definitely help existing bed and breakfasts. It just comes down to, how many bed and breakfasts are there? I'm sure there's quite a lot of them. And also, how many people out there are actually want to start a bed and breakfast? So I would probably, if I were you, I would probably help existing bed and breakfast, honestly, because I don't know how many people are. Because if they have an existing bed and breakfast, it's already set up, it's already running, they're hopefully making some money already, and they want to make more. It's probably easier to help those and find people like that versus trying to inspire people to start a bed and breakfast, because then they don't have any money, and potentially, I don't know.
Startup capital and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they need to put that money into the actual bed and breakfast as well. I would probably do that. I don't know though. I would look at, maybe there's a bunch of people on the internet who are just, they really, really want to learn how to start a bed and breakfast, and there's a big potential in the market, then I would do that. But my gut is telling me to probably help existing ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you advise on starting a course based on what you do? For example, what you do for a living / what you were trained to do, or choose a niche based on your interests? Um, well, it it depends, honestly, because let's say I do something for a living, and there's a lot of and I enjoy that, and there's also a lot of people who want to learn how to do that or are currently doing it but want to do it better. Then I would strongly consider that. Like, okay, here's what I do for a living. I enjoy it. A lot of other people want to learn it or become better at it. Okay, great. There's potential there, right? There's a market who wants to learn from me and I can help them. That's good. Versus, you also said, like, or choose a niche based on your interests. So maybe you have another interest that is not what you do for a living, right? But you're very interested in it, and you're pretty good at it. And there's also a lot of other people who are interested in that interest and want to learn, and they can learn from you. Then I would also consider it. So, like, I guess my main thing is that I would look at, are there a lot of people out there who actually want to do it also? Do they want to learn this thing? So there's a balance there. It's like, do something that you enjoy and that you want to do, but also keep in mind what do my actual potential customers want. There's like, it takes two to tango, right? If I'm super stoked about, I don't know, let's say with Dylan, let's say I'm super stoked about playing pool or something, but Dylan hates playing pool, and I'm trying to like sell him a course on playing pool. Like, he's never gonna buy it because he doesn't want it. But if I had a course on how to get cheaper Las Padres tickets or something for baseball matches, maybe he would be interested in that. Yeah, you see, he'd probably want that. So it's just about what people actually want. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Sign me
That's
up for that course.
that's exactly what the reaction want, right? People are just like, oh, I want that. Then it's easier to sell and more fun. Hopefully that makes sense, Erika. Yeah, spend less time on my phone to spend more time in the community on my phone. Yeah. But I guess it's worth it, right? If you can spend a little bit of your time in the community and learn how to spend less time overall going forward. What do you need to do to sell a course before we create it? And do you only start to make it after you make a first sale? Yes. So what you need to sell a course before we actually build it is, you need traffic, some type of attention, like a YouTube channel, and you need a sales page or like a landing page where people can like book a call with you if you're selling high ticket. So user traffic, you get people to book calls with you, and then you gauge on the sales call. I would be like, oh, like, I would get Dylan on the phone and I would pitch him to like start a pool course, and he would be like, no, I'm not that interested. And I would do it for another one. I would do it with Miles. I was like, I'm not really. Miles would actually be interested though. Bad example.
Yeah, he would.
I would do that with 30 people, and if 30 people told me like, I don't really want to learn how to play pool, I was like, okay, dang it, okay, let's skip that. But then I would change my offer, and then I would do that again, 30 calls, and hopefully I get people who are interested in that. And then when I start getting people to buy, and I know that, okay, I have something to offer people, a marketplace now, and they're actually willing to pay me money for it, now I know that it's working. I haven't spent any time or money or energy on building anything yet. So then I would just continue to sell it. And then once I have maybe 10 people buying it, then I would actually build the course. Yeah. When views are under 50 per video, but subs are growing, what does that say about my content? Is it just algorithm thing or just positioning thing? I think it's a good sign. Like, if you don't get a lot of views per video, but people are actually subscribing, I would say that showing interest. But if you're getting a little views per video, there's basically 3 metrics to look at on a YouTube video. There's impressions, click-through rate, and average view duration. I would say those are the 3 main ones. And I'm no YouTube expert here, so because I'm still trying to figure this out myself more to get more views. But we like views are also like a vanity metric. I much rather have 1,000 views on a video and get 20 booked calls from that, and then 5 of them turns into customers, or maybe even more than that, versus having 1 million views on a video where I'm just making a bad joke or something, or just dance or something into a TikTok video, but I have nothing to sell, nothing to promote, and nobody books a call. So I wouldn't focus too much on views. But if you want more than 50 views, maybe you want to have 1,000 views per video or 5,000 views, it comes down to like the impressions, the click-through rate, and the average view duration. So just to give some context, like, and all of these ones are interlinked with each other, by the way. So average view duration is if you have a 10-minute long video and people on average watches like 2 minutes, then you have a 20% average view duration, which is not that good. If you have 30%, that's good. If you have 40%, it's really good. If you have 50% average view duration, that's crazy good. So here's how YouTube works, right? If you do a video and the video is really good, meaning that people who click on it watches 50% of the video, YouTube would know that, oh, this is a really good video. They watch 50% of this video. And then the impressions, right? So if you have a title that's in demand, if I make it a title about, I don't know, the best soles for your shoe or something, I don't think a lot of people would be interested in that. And probably not a lot of people are searching on that on YouTube every month. But if I make a video about the best AI automation thing, that's obviously clearly in high demand right now because there's millions of people searching for it. So the title is important. It will help you to get more impressions because if people are searching for it more and you have a title about that, you get more impressions. If you have a good thumbnail and a good title, you will have higher click-through rate. So now people will click on it more. So now you get more views. And then if you have good average view duration, that tells YouTube that, oh, a lot of people are searching for content like this. When they find this video, they click on it. Good. But then when they start watching it, they watch only 10% of it. Okay, it's a bad video. We're not going to promote it anymore. But if you have good title, which is in demand, a good thumbnail, which has high click-through rate, and you have high average view duration, meaning that a lot of people see it, a lot of people click on it, and a lot of people watch 30% of the video or more, or maybe 40% of the video or more, YouTube will be like, oh, this is a banger. Let's just promote it like crazy. Because they want more people to stick on YouTube. Yes. All right, nice. Let's talk. Okay, cool. People are connecting. That's sick. All right. Let's see here. I've answered a lot of, let's see if we can do some other ones than Rich. We have a bunch of Rich questions. They're great questions, by the way. I'm just going to see here. We have, what would you do if your target group is not very active on school? I'm currently helping financial advisors with social recruiting on LinkedIn. Apparently, they want more classroom than community. Yes. Yeah, I think like a commute. Like I'm basically the same, and I think also sometimes when we start selling high ticket, a lot of people buy information because of the information. That's how I am when I buy courses. I don't really care too much about like the community, even though I probably should like connect with people more. Like some people just love connecting with people and talking a lot. When I buy like information specifically, I normally just want the information and implement it and learn it. And yes, so. And also the community comes down to like if there's a group of people in a room and everybody are super interested in skateboards, I think it's super easy to create a lot of engagement. You just like you have a skateboard ramp, you have some beers and some hamburgers, and people start. You're just like, hey, throw 100 skaters in the room and they will have the blast. You'll probably have a hard time kicking them out because they will just love it so much. And then you do a room where it's like a bunch of, I don't know, different age groups. Everybody speaks different languages and nobody knows why they're there. Then it would be like people would just be like, oh, what's going on here? And then people would leave. So doesn't have to mean that it's a bad thing if your community is not that active. It could actually be a sign that you should probably, I don't know if you're selling low ticket right now, but if you're helping financial advisor with social recruiting on LinkedIn, I would probably charge high ticket, because then you don't have to worry about your engagement have to be super high to decrease churn, right? But you can sell them in for a high ticket, they get their knowledge, and then you don't have to worry about engagement being high just because you're going to lose your customers if not. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. We're starting to run out of time a bit. I'm gonna pick 2 more questions. Someone that I haven't answered yet. So let's do. Let's see. Okay, and Bo said also first name is pronounced Bo. Okay, cool. And then Funframe said, "Hey Max, how would you go and solve the payment gateway problem in schools since they only accept Apple Pay and Google Pay if you're not from the US?" Well, they do accept credit cards as well. I don't know if that's what you mean, but if you're not from the US,
Yeah, they accept debit and credit card as well.
sorry.
Yeah, is that the question, that they think they only take Apple Pay or Google Pay, or?
He said, "Hi Max, how would you go and solve the payment gateway problem in school since they only accept Apple Pay and Google Pay if you're not from the US?" Well, they do accept credit cards even if you're not from the US. I'm in Sweden. I can buy school communities with my card, my debit card or credit card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'm misunderstanding the question, but. And then Laszlo said, "Cool. I actually had lunch with Laszlo a couple of weeks ago. He's from Gothenburg, or from Borås rather, close to Gothenburg. Are you only nice to see you, Laszlo? Are you only driving traffic to the info product, and then on the sales call do the upsell to the coaching mastermind, or do you have different call to actions on each platform to drive traffic to them both?" Well, no, we drive all traffic to the same funnel, and then on the call we pitch the different offers. Yes. Yeah. We have a separate page for our mastermind, but that's more so just to highlight what the mastermind is a bit more. But yeah, we drive all the traffic to the same page. Yeah. Okay. He needs a go-karting course. I teach the course. Yeah. Miles is
Saw him
definitely
at
yeah.
saw him for go-karting the other day.
I think he's probably the one in like he's pretty much winning everything in the team, right? It's like
Yeah, it's annoying.
It's like pool, go-karting,
Chess.
chess, poker as well. Pretty aggressive poker player, I must say.
Yeah.
Didn't win though. Aaron won last time.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably has the highest average win rate though. It's probably Miles. All right.
Yeah.
Sick.
I took the crown for bowling though.
Oh yeah. You did. That's true. Cool. All right. Thank you guys for joining, and also thank you guys for joining the 5-day challenge. It was fun, and we can do more of those if you guys want to in the future. So sick. And Laszlo, yeah, I'm down for electric go-karting. It's a good one in Gothenburg, actually. All right. Have a good one, everybody. Talk soon. Peace. Bye.